The United States of America 5-cent coin from 2005, struck at the Philadelphia Mint and bearing the P mint mark, belongs to the special Westward Journey nickel series, which was issued between 2004 and 2006 to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition and the Louisiana Purchase. The denomination is officially called the Jefferson Nickel, first introduced in 1938 to honor President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. In 2005, two different reverse designs were issued along with a one-year-only obverse design, making the year unique in the long history of the nickel. The obverse featured, for the first time in over 60 years, a new forward-facing portrait of Jefferson designed by artist Joe Fitzgerald and sculpted by Don Everhart, showing Jefferson in a three-quarter view with a more lifelike and contemporary style, alongside the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 2005. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 500 million pieces that year, all marked with a P mint mark to indicate their origin. Two reverses were issued. The American Bison reverse, designed by Jamie Franke and sculpted by Norman E. Namath, which depicted a powerful buffalo in recognition of the wildlife encountered by the Lewis and Clark expedition and recalling the famous 1913 buffalo nickel and the ocean in view. Reverse, designed by Joe Fitzgerald and engraved by Donna Weaver, which featured a dramatic depiction of the Pacific Ocean coastline along with the legend, "Ocean in View." Oh, the joy! Taken directly from William Clark's journal. Both designs were paired with the new obverse portrait only for 2005 before the series transitioned to the final Monticello reverse redesign in 2006. Each nickel is made of a copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel, with a standard weight of 5.0 grams, a diameter of 21.21 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.95 millimeters, featuring a plain edge. While most 2005P nickels are common in circulation and worth only face value due to high mintages, uncirculated examples, high-grade coins, and those with special errors or varieties such as double dyes, die cracks, or off-center strikes, can be worth considerably more to collectors. Numismatically, the 2005P Jefferson nickel holds historical importance as part of the short-lived Westward Journey nickel series, which for the first time in modern U.S. coinage history broke away from the long-established Monticello design to celebrate exploration, discovery, and the nation's westward expansion. Collectors and historians value it not only as currency, but also as a symbol of American heritage, representing Jefferson's vision of expansion, the achievements of the Lewis and Clark expedition, and the blending of classic coinage tradition with modern artistic innovation. Next up. The United States of America 5-cent coin of 2004, minted at Philadelphia and bearing the P mint mark, represents one of the most historically significant issues in modern American coinage. Known popularly as the Jefferson nickel, this denomination has been a staple of U.S. commerce since 1938, when the familiar portrait of President Thomas Jefferson first replaced the buffalo nickel. By 2004, however, the U.S. Mint embarked on an ambitious redesign project called the Westward Journey Nickel Series, commemorating the bicentennials of the Louisiana Purchase, 1803, and the Lewis and Clark Expedition, 1804 to 1806. These two pivotal events in U.S. history expanded the nation's boundaries and embodied the themes of exploration, discovery, and national growth. Thus, the 2004 nickels occupy a unique place in the nation's numismatic heritage, blending long-standing traditions with fresh imagery that captured public attention. The obverse of the 2004 nickel still bore the left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, third President of the United States, and the visionary behind the Louisiana Purchase. This portrait, designed by Felix Schlag and in continuous use since 1938, with only minor modifications, symbolizes Jefferson's lasting influence on American ideals of democracy, education, and westward expansion. Above his head appears the motto, "In God We Trust," while the word liberty and the date, 2004, appear to the right, written in Jefferson's own handwriting style in the Westward Journey issues. Below the date is the P mint mark, signifying that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important coin-producing facilities in the world. The presence of the P distinguishes these coins from those struck in Denver, D, or San Francisco, S for proofs. The reverse of the 2004 nickel marked a dramatic departure from the familiar Monticello design. Instead of Jefferson's Virginia home, collectors and the public encountered two new motifs issued during the year. The first reverse, introduced early in 2004, is called the Peace Medal design. Inspired by the Jefferson Peace Medal commissioned for Native American diplomacy, it features two hands clasped in friendship, one wearing a military uniform cuff and the other a Native American bracelet with a pipe. Above the hands appear crossed peace pipes and tomahawks, representing peaceful intentions in the midst of expansion. Surrounding the design is the inscription, United States of America, and the denomination, 5 cents, with the motto, E pluribus unum, out of many one above. The symbolism reflects Jefferson's hope to maintain diplomatic relations with indigenous peoples during the westward expansion. The second reverse of 2004, released later in the year, is known as the keelboat design. It depicts the sturdy vessel used by Meriwether Lewis and William Clark during their Corps of Discovery expedition to explore the newly acquired Louisiana territory. The boat is shown in great detail, complete with oarsmen and a sail, symbolizing courage, teamwork, and progress. This design recalls the perilous yet successful journey of exploration that mapped vast regions of North America, established U.S. claims to the Pacific Northwest, and fostered trade and scientific discovery. Like the Peace Medal nickel, the keelboat reverse is encircled with inscriptions, balancing artistry with the practical requirements of coinage. In terms of minting and distribution, millions of 2004 nickels were struck at Philadelphia, with a total mintage reaching hundreds of millions for circulation. The Philadelphia Mint was responsible for supplying coins primarily to the eastern half of the country, while the Denver Mint served the west. Proof coins, with mirror-like finishes, were struck at San Francisco for collectors. Because of their massive production numbers, most 2004 P nickels remain common in circulation and are worth face value, 5 cents. However, uncirculated and proof examples, especially in high grades certified by professional grading services, MS, 66 and above, carry collectible premiums. Special collector sets produced by the U.S. Mint also included both 2004 reverse designs, making them a favorite among numismatists. The historical and cultural significance of the 2004 nickels cannot be overstated. They represent a rare moment when the U.S. government allowed a circulating coin to break from its traditional reverse, something that had not occurred for the Jefferson nickel since its introduction in 1938. This sparked public interest in pocket change, reinvigorated the hobby of coin collecting, and educated millions of Americans about the Louisiana Purchase and the Lewis and Clark expedition. By carrying images of peace, exploration, and discovery into daily commerce, the nickels functioned as miniature history lessons in every transaction. From a design perspective, the next top. The United States 5-cent coin of 1994, commonly known as the Jefferson Nickel, represents both a continuation of long-standing numismatic tradition and a snapshot of American coinage during the late 20th century. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the P mint mark placed on the obverse to the right of Thomas Jefferson's portrait, the coin belongs to the Jefferson Nickel series, first introduced in 1938, which replaced the Buffalo nickel. The obverse design features a left-facing bust of Jefferson, the third president of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag after winning a public design competition. It presents Jefferson with a classical, dignified appearance that remained unchanged for decades until later modifications in the early 21st century. Encircling the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" on the left, "Liberty" and the date, 1994 on the right, with the mint mark adjacent to the bust. The reverse depicts Jefferson's home, Monticello, rendered in a neoclassical style with careful architectural detail, symbolizing his role not only as a statesman but also as an architect and visionary. Above Monticello is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, while beneath it appear the inscriptions Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The 1994 Philadelphia issue was struck in large numbers, well over 800 million pieces, making it a common circulation coin, easily found in pocket change at the time and still frequently encountered today. Each coin is composed of a copper-nickel alloy, specifically 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silver-gray appearance and durability suitable for heavy use in commerce. With a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a weight of 5 grams, and a plain, smooth edge, its physical specifications match the long-standing standard set for nickel since 1866, when the denomination first appeared. The 1994p nickel holds no silver content, as all circulating nickels minted after World War II reverted to the standard alloy once wartime metal shortages ended. In terms of collectability, the 1994p is not a scarce coin in circulated condition due to its high mintage, but numismatists value examples in mint state grades, especially those certified MS 65 or higher, with full steps detail on Monticello's stairs, a strike characteristic that demonstrates the sharpness of the die and the quality of the minting process. Full steps nickels, particularly from the 1990s, can command significant premiums because they are challenging to find in flawless strike, even among coins that otherwise appear uncirculated. The Philadelphia Mint at this time was responsible for the majority of circulating coinage, and the P mint mark had only been in use on nickel since 1980, so a 1994p nickel represents one of the relatively modern issues where the mint mark is always present. Historically, the Jefferson Nickel series reflects a strong sense of American identity, honoring one of the nation's founding fathers, author of the Declaration of Independence, and a president who embodied ideals of democracy, exploration, and Enlightenment thought. By 1994, the Jefferson Nickel design had already been in circulation for 56 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history prior to the redesigns of the early 2000s that celebrated the Lewis and Clark expedition. While the 1994p nickel may not carry intrinsic precious metal value, its worth lies in its role as a familiar medium of exchange, a piece of everyday Americana, and, for collectors, a small but significant part of the ongoing story of U.S. coinage. Its study offers insights into minting technology, design continuity, and how ordinary objects can connect modern users with deeper layers of national heritage. Next top. The United States of America 5-cent coin dated 1989 with a P mint mark is part of the long-running Jefferson Nickel series, which began in 1938 and continues in modernized form today, making it one of the most familiar circulating coins in American history. The denomination of 5 cents, commonly called the nickel, was first introduced in 1866 as a replacement for the earlier silver half-dime, which had become impractical for daily use during and after the Civil War when hoarding of precious metal coinage drove silver out of circulation. By 1866, Congress authorized a copper-nickel 5-cent piece, heavier and larger than the half-dime, that would become an everyday workhorse coin for commerce. The 1989 P. Jefferson Nickel fits within this long tradition. Its obverse design, created by artist Felix Schlag in 1938, features a left-facing profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, author of the Declaration of Independence, and a figure revered for his role in shaping the democratic ideals of the young republic. Schlag's design was chosen through a public competition, and it remained largely unchanged on the obverse until 2004. On the obverse of the 1989 nickel, Jefferson is depicted with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," along the left rim, "Liberty and the Year, 1989" on the right, and the P mint mark placed just behind Jefferson's ponytail, signifying that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest operating mint in the United States. The reverse side features an image of Jefferson's famous Virginia home, Monticello, a neoclassical architectural masterpiece that he designed himself. Above Monticello is the word E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, a traditional motto of the United States, while beneath the building appears the name Monticello, the denomination 5 cents, and the country designation, United States of America. The 1989 nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a cupronickel alloy that has been standard for most U.S. nickels since their introduction, except for the wartime silver alloy nickels of 1942 to 1945. The coin has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a thickness of 1.95 millimeters, and weighs exactly 5 grams, dimensions that have remained consistent since the mid-19th century, giving the U.S. nickel its well-known heft and feel. During 1989, the Philadelphia Mint struck an impressive 898,752,000 nickels, nearly 900 million pieces, making the coin relatively common in circulation and not rare in standard condition. In addition to circulation strikes, the San Francisco Mint also produced proof versions for collectors. While 1989 P-nickels are plentiful in circulated grades, they remain collectible in pristine, uncirculated, or high mint state condition, particularly when displaying full steps on the Monticello design, a grading detail that indicates sharp striking quality. Historically, 1989 was a year of significant events both in the U.S. and abroad. President George H.W. Bush was sworn in. The Cold War was entering its final years with the fall of the Berlin Wall later that same year, and the U.S. economy was navigating a period of change, all of which make coins minted in this era quiet witnesses to history. The 1989 P-nickel represents not only an everyday instrument of commerce, but also a symbolic reminder of America's cultural continuity, tying the economic life of the late 20th century to traditions stretching back to the nation's founding. Though face value is only 5 cents, its numismatic value depends on condition. Most circulated examples are worth exactly face value, while high-grade mint state coins may sell for a small premium, usually between 25 cents and a few dollars, and top-condition full steps examples can reach significantly higher among specialists. Collectors appreciate the 1989 P-nickel as a piece of a broader series, one that saw few changes from 1938 until the early 2000s, when the U.S. Mint redesigned the reverse during the Westward Journey series, 2004 to 2005, and later updated Jefferson's portrait. Thus, the 1989 P-nickel stands as a representative of the classic Jefferson Nickel design, part of the everyday fabric of American coinage during the last decades of the 20th century. Its durability, composition, and ubiquity meant that it circulated widely in daily transactions, from vending machines to bus fares, convenience stores, and savings jars, connecting millions of Americans to a shared economic symbol. For those studying U.S. coinage, this coin reflects the mint's mass production capabilities, striking nearly 1 billion pieces in 1 year, while also showing the artistry of early 20th century design that endured into the modern era. In summary, the 1989 P. Jefferson Nickel is not only a practical piece of money, but also a slice of numismatic history, carrying Jefferson's legacy and Monticello's neoclassical beauty in millions of Americans' pockets, linking the founding ideals.